What is up, everybody? Daniel Rock 08 back again on our video. 1998 year in review continues with WCW's Road Wild. Live from Sturgis in the famous Sturgis motorcycle rally. This is it, Road Wild. Last month, Bash at the Beach, they had Dennis Rodman and Karl Malone settling their differences from the NBA court. Two NBA legends going at it and teaming up with Hogan and Diamond Dallas Page in the main event of Bash at the Beach. This time around, however, they don't have Rodman, they don't have Malone. This time around, they have late night TV host of The Tonight Show, Jay Leno. Jay Leno is in the main event of a WCW pay-per-view. Well, only in WCW when a late night talk show host and Jay fucking Leno would main event a show. But hey, this is also the same company that had David Arquette, a B-rated movie actor, their WCW World Heavyweight Champion. But hey, anything for buy rates, right? Well, while Dennis Rodman and Karl Malone drew huge buy rates for Bash at the Beach, the highest buy rate in WCW history, Jay Leno most certainly did not do it. And they did not even come close in matching what they did back at Bash at the Beach. But anyways, I digress. What else does this show have to offer? Yes, you have Jay Leno in the main event, but maybe the rest of the show is good. Maybe this show is good. Well, honestly, unfortunately, it is not a good show. We are in the midst of the highway to hell. We're in the midst of this huge time period of wrestling, the summer of 1998, where wrestling is at its hottest. You know, Heatwave was fucking awesome. Great American Bash was a good show. Fully Loaded was decent. The King of the Ring was very good. So you would think being in the summer of 1998, maybe it would be a good show, but this show is awful. This is one of the worst pay-per-views I've ever fucking seen. But, you know, I've seen a lot of shows. I've seen a lot of bad shows. New Blood Rising comes to mind. Great American Bash 2000 comes to mind. 2004 Great American Bash. And so on and so forth. Victory Road TNA comes to mind. But while this show's nowhere near as bad as those shows, it's still a pretty bad show. Anyways, I digress. Move on. The Faces of Fear are facing off against each other. It's Meg defeating Barbarian in a very barbaric match. This match sucked. 3 out of 10. Jimmy Hart, the balls he has, does a top rope body splash on the Meng. Okay. Meng goes crazy and beats up Barbarian and Jimmy Hart and everybody else. 3 out of 10, not much to say. Whatever. 3 out of 10. Then we have one of the worst matches I've ever fucking seen. Public Enemy defeat the Dancing Fools or Boogie Nights or whatever the fuck you want to call them. It's Disco Inferno and Alex Wright. This match is garbage. First of all, it's a normal tag team match, but because Public Enemy is Public Enemy and they can do what the fuck they want, I guess they're Eric Bischoff. They have their own powers to change match stipulations. They changed this into a street fight, which doesn't fucking make sense, doesn't live for fun. Your brain gets smart, but your head gets dumb. There's so much stupid shit going on in this match. It's bad. It's very bad. This match starts and stops. Starts and stops. Starts and stops. And what I mean by that is you have Boogie Nights and Public Enemy. They go at it, and then they'll just stop wrestling. And then Public Enemy goes to get some weapons. They leave the ring, go up the stage, get some weapons, and then they get disqualified, but they're not getting disqualified because now the match is now a no disqualification match because, I don't know, because reasons, because Public Enemy is Eric Bischoff or something. So then they beat each other up with weapons, and then Boogie Nights stop wrestling, and then they get their own weapons, and then they start brawling again, and it's just brawling and brawling and brawling, and sometimes it works, but they started the match, they stopped the match, and then they started, and they stopped, and they started, and then they stopped. And there's so many botches, it's insane. The camera work in this match is awful. Awful. At one point in time, Alex Wright is in the ring. He has Tokyo Magnum, whoever the fuck that guy was. And he's holding one of the Public Enemies. I think it was Rocco Rock. And Alex Wright, actually Tokyo Magnum hits Alex Wright by accident. And then they cut to the outside with Disco Inferno getting his ass kicked by a ladder, by the way. And then all we see is Alex Wright is now gone and Tokyo Magnum is on the mat. So we are left with this conclusion that Alex Wright decked Tokyo Magnum and left the match. But we don't see it because the camera guys don't catch this fucking thing going on. I really hope whoever was in the back got fired for that one. Good God. Good God. And then Rocco Rock, or whatever, it doesn't fucking matter. They do this teeter-totter spot with the ladder on Disco Inferno. And Disco Inferno's head from the ladder is like this fucking wide. It's so far away that Disco Inferno literally has to jump like 10 feet right in the middle to even have his hair touch the ladder. It's insane how terrible the spot was. And then they decide to redeem themselves by doing a triple-decker table spot on the outside, which is insane, but it doesn't save this match from being a clusterfuck of a match. So from having this match where it's supposed to be a tag team match, but for some reason, Public Enemy are using weapons, and it's supposed to be a disqualification, but they're not getting disqualified because I guess they have the power to change the match stipulation. They're starting and stopping and starting and stopping. They're running away from the match 10 times over. So many matches, so many botches in the match, so many miscues, so many missed spots because of the camera work. This match is bad. If I was still doing negative, this would do negative, but I don't do negative anymore. I do zeros. This match gets a big, fat 0. Next up, Saturn, Canyon, and Raven have a Falls Count Anywhere Triangle Ravens rules match. And unfortunately, this match is nowhere near as fun. It's nowhere near as good as the uncensored triangle match with Raven, DDP, and Benoit. Nowhere near as good as that match was. The crowd is not into it whatsoever. There's good spots on it, but the crowd in Sturgis, they don't care for this match. There's like 5,000, 10,000 people there. 200,000 for the rally, but 10,000 people bothered to show up for a free show, by the way. But it literally sounds like there's like 20 people there. Even though throughout the entire show and throughout the entire legacy of Road Wild, they would rev their engines. Jesus Christ. When I think of terrible pay-per-view franchises out there, I think of Road Wild. Road Wild always sucked. Ugh, good God. This match wasn't very good. 4.5. Next. Rey Mysterio Jr. and Psychosis do have a good match, but not nearly as good of a match as they should have had. A 6 out of 10. This match should have been really better. Much better. They had way better matches in ECW and WCW and WWE's One Night Stand. They have much better matches than this. This match wasn't very good. Well, to what they should have had. A 6 out of 10. Stevie Ray, the television championship, is on the line here. Stevie Ray defends his television title against Chavo Guerrero Jr. in a very terrible match. Last month at Bash of the Beach, Chavo Guerrero Jr. submitted to a handshake to Stevie Ray. This is just a bad match. Skip. 0 out of 10. Whew, another 0, by the way. A second dud on this card. Whew, baby. But it doesn't end there. The third dud is coming right at you with Steve Mongo McMichaels taking on Brian Adams. Who the fuck thought Brian Adams Crush versus Mongo would be a good match? This match is so terrible. It's so bad. It needs to be seen to be believed. This match, along with Public Enemy and Boogie Nights, are some of the worst matches I've ever fucking seen. This match is awful. Awful. I can't describe how bad this match is. There's so many bad spots, so many awful miscommunication. if I had one word to describe this, it's just miscommunication. There's so much shit that could have been a nice move, but it's so much shit. One guy, Brian Adams would miss a clothesline, right? And then he would take the bump anyways. Vincent is on the apron, just waiting for Mongo to hit him with the steel chair. It's so predictable. Vincent is on the apron, just waiting for Brian Adams to duck and for Mongo to hit him in the face with a chair or whatever the fuck kind of spot. It's just a bad miscommunication of bullshittery. A 0 out of 10. Bad, garbage match. Then we have Juventud Guerrera defeating Chris Jericho to recapture his Cruiserweight Championship with Dean Malenko as the special referee in a good match. 7 out of 10. Chris Jericho, the conspiracy victim he is, in the midst of this big-ass rivalry he had with Dean Malenko. Good match here. Dean Malenko is a special referee. Said he would call it down the middle. He has to call it down the middle because if he doesn't, he won't be around much longer. Towards the end of the match, Juventud Guerrera goes right towards... okay, so Rey Mysterio, my bad. Shut up. I'm getting my people mixed up here. Chris Jericho is sitting on the top turnbuckle, and Ubi is running towards the corner, but Dean Malenko is like in the way. So Dean Malenko sees Juventud Guerrera, and as a just like a knee-jerk reaction, he sees Juventud, and he basically catapults him up and over his shoulders, and Juventud lands right on Jericho and does a hurricanrana. Best spot of the show by far. Great spot. I like that spot a lot. 7 out of 10, but much like the Rey Mysterio and Psychosis match, and much like the Triple Threat match, the crowd does not give a rat's ass about this match. 7 out of 10. Literally, it sounds like 20 people are there revving their engines. Whatever. Goldberg wins a Battle Royale, last eliminating the Giants. It was an impressive spot where he jackknifed I said jackknife. That's fucking Kevin Nash. Oh my god. Jackhammered the Giants. Very cool spot. But I'm looking back during Goldberg's title reign and I'm realizing something. Other than his match at Halloween Havoc with Diamond Dallas Page, he doesn't really have an impressive amount of matches in his title reign. He fought Kurt Hennig in an obvious victory. I mean, Kurt Hennig is going to win the title, you guys. Yeah, right. Goldberg is going to beat him. He beats Kurt Hennig, in which Kurt Hennig had less of a chance of winning than Bruce Beefcake did against Hogan at Starrcade. He doesn't have a match at all at Fall Brawl, nor does he have a match at all at World War III, and he loses the title to Kevin Nash at Starrcade. So you have Kurt Hennig at Bash of the Beach, you have the Battle Royale, you have Halloween Havoc against CDP, and then you have Starrcade. Not much of a pay-per-view title resume, but whatever the fuck. You have NWO Wolfpack, Sting, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall of the NWO Black and White members in there, Giants, Conan. It's basically NWO Hollywood versus NWO Wolfpack with Goldberg in there, but he wasn't supposed to be in there, but he threw his hat in the ring. Whatever the fuck. 4 out of 10. Whatever. And then in the main event, Diamond Dallas Page and Jay Leno defeat Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff in a match that was a lot better than what it should have been. This match could have been negative. Could have been another dud, a fourth dud, but it gets a 2. Again, I'm grading on a curve here, but Jay Leno wasn't too terrible in this match. He did have a bodyguard with him. He did have not a bodyguard, but whoever was the third man in this match, and whoever was the other guy in the Tonight Show, He did a bunch of diamond cutters. It was kind of cool. The crowd, honestly, was actually into it. I don't know where this crowd was, but with the cruiserweight matches and the triple threat match, but the crowd really woke up and revved their engines hard for Jay Leno. Jay Leno, who is a big car enthusiast, I guess maybe he did like Sturgis. I don't know. He's more of a car enthusiast than a motorcycle enthusiast, but whatever. This is a bad match, but it was a lot better than what it should have been. At one point in time, Jay Leno does get an armbar headlock and a headlock on Hulk Hogan, which was kind of embarrassing. Jay Leno gets the victory over Eric Bischoff, thank God, in a match that was a lot better than it had any right to be in. 2 out of 10. Overall, Road Wild, Hog Wild, whatever the fuck you want to call it, is a bad, bad show. Very bad show. 3 out of 10 in the midst of the big time summers of 1998. This show is bad. One of the worst shows I've ever seen. Road Wild. God damn, that pay-per-view franchise sucked. I really hope WWE never brings it back. Shit. Well, I mean, maybe it's better than Great Balls of Fire, but whatever. Anyways, I'm Daniel Rock 08 for WCW's 1998 year in review. It will be Fall Brawl, but next time around, it's WWF SummerSlam, the highway to hell. It's red, hot, wild, and crazy as Stone Cold Steve Austin takes on The Undertaker in probably the biggest main event in SummerSlam history. Goodbye.